3, 2, 1.
Alright, lads.
How's it going?
Mate.
Ali, you have to start with your Cobra Kai fascination, mate.
I don't even know where that came from. Like, obviously, I'm a good bit older than you, that like. So, growing up watching the Karate Kid, it was
We've got our
loved it, like.
trigger.
But
Like,
I don't know. It kind of just I don't know where it came from. To be honest, it's kind of took on its own life. I don't even like it that much.
You're wearing the headband.
I know what it's like. But Callie, the girlfriend, always buys me all these things. Like,
Don't be blaming your
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
I say, I really like that.
You see how it makes sense,
or like that. It's like what do you call it? Adidas. I've got new Adidas shoes and I've got a new hoodie, t-shirt, tracksuit bottoms all in the last week because I like them on Adidas.
Alright, you went shopping, we get it, like.
So,
Don't have to brag here, like.
you see how it makes some plans.
but it does, you know yourself, the motivational thing. It's that kind of stuff that gets me going. Like.
Did Attack come from that?
Attack came from, where did Attack come from? No, Attack just came from nowhere. Attack was as simple as whenever we were just training and I went, attack it.
Yeah.
And it went from there, and it's just stuck all the time.
That boy have to get bleeped.
That's the swear counter. It only goes up to 9,999.
Might get you that in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
Did Attack not come from the street workout program?
It did. It came from whenever we were training in street workout. That's what it was. It was just whenever we were doing always at the end of the work, at the end of the training sessions after you'd done your skills, we would have had like a probably 20-minute workout. And then whenever I was fat and overweight, I attacked it, and it just came from that. And every time I would be going harder than most of the people in the class, and I'd be saying to them, "Come on, attack it," you know. And that's where it came from.
That's right.
Yeah.
And like, do you think that's taken on like a life of its own at this stage?
It just I don't know. It just suits.
Suits
Everything,
you, like.
it suits everything that you're doing, you know, all the time. It's so simple. Attack it, you know. I mean, it's just kind of took on its own.
It grows on you?
It was
It grows on you?
It definitely wasn't like that trying to kind of find a catchphrase or, you know.
Or it's forced on you?
Slogan
Yeah,
or whatever.
them headbands aren't going on you though.
Just, you know, well, sure. You can't win everything. Like, some stuff's going to work, some's not. But yeah, that's it. And just the attack just stuck after that.
Yeah, no, it definitely like it's proper associated.
But
with
it
you.
did fit it. Like whenever, because even when we were doing that was before even the bar wars started. We were shouting at each other when we were training. And then whenever I started the Bar Wars page, it was just like, it just attached to it by itself without me.
Yeah.
There was no thought behind it. Like when we think of something, it was just there and that was it. Like.
But you didn't meet on street workout battles, did you? Just met on grind, that was it?
Obviously, that's where a word needs headband, you know.
There's a story behind it.
But like, basically, whenever we were in the street workout program, this is going back probably around the same sort of time. Whenever down in Dublin there was Bar Monkey going on, up in Belfast was the street workout program, and there was no other calisthenics really happening anywhere. There's obviously wee bits and pieces that, like, I don't know, other places, but that was really it. You were doing your thing down here, and then there was the street workout program, and we were in street workout. There was a group of us in the advanced class. There was only about 6 or 7 of us, and I started to create leaderboards. But because there was nobody else training, we didn't know how strong or how good we were.
Yeah.
So we started these leaderboards, and we were in the gym and hitting these, like doing. We were only doing pull-ups, and then you were doing a 24 kilo pull-up, and you were moving up, and you were doing 30, and then you were getting up to the 40, and we were all going, holy shit, this is unbelievable! Look how much gains we're making. But that's where the leaderboards in the gym and the street workout started, and then I thought, like, we need to get this out here and see what other people around the country are doing. How strong are we compared to other people? So after a while, we had a few leaderboards built up, and there was whenever we'd done the challenges once a month, or different challenge every month, we put, after every 3 months, I think, we put the dip 1 rep max dip leaderboard up. So we were all in doing like 40s, 50 kilos, and then I'd created the page, the Bar Wars page. And he submitted a video doing something like a 70 kilo dip. And at the time, whenever we were all comparing our 30s, 40s, 50s, going, whoa.
75.
75, you know. Anyway, he came in with a video, and at this stage, there was probably starting to get a wee bit of a following. There was probably maybe, 100 people following the page or whatever at that stage. And we were all really low in weight. And he came in with that 75 kilo dip or whatever, it was 65. And 75. But it was so much bigger than everybody else had done it at that stage. And we're going, holy shit, this is mad. And then I just happened to actually bump into him the next day, down a Boulder World, and then it was love at first sight.
Like, had you come across any of the street workout? Where did you end up starting? Like,
I started, suppose you could say, because of him. So I was a full-time fitness instructor for 10 years in Anderson's Town Leisure Centre in Belfast. And basically what happened was I was ready to walk away from fitness altogether. I got that bored with it, that fed up with it. Basically doing weights.
no one could accept you for the headband, no?
That's what it was.
That's it,
All
like,
about the headband.
so yeah, new leads of life, you see, the freedom to do whatever you want.
So basically, instead of walking away from it, I decided to change my training up. And the gym that I was in, the roof wasn't much higher than this. So there was muscle-ups weren't even heard of.
Yeah.
Right, so I was doing pull-ups off a Smith machine, basically a bench press, but with the bar put up high. So instead of walking away from fitness, I decided to give it one last go. So I changed my training up completely into what I didn't even know was calisthenics at the time. So I went up to a local tractor company and bought a tractor tire. And we had a vineyard out the back that went up in an incline. And I basically harnessed myself to the tire, started crawling up the vineyard and pulling the bins by ropes and things like that. And Mr. Kane's here, seen one of my videos that I put up on Instagram, got in contact with me saying, would you like to enter one of these competitions? And then I seen the weighted dip one up, and he said, have you any decent weighted dips? And I said, I've one here at 75 kilos. And he says, I think the message was, are you sure about that? And then they asked me, not even, no word of a lie, was, are you sure about that? And then he says, what weight are you? And I said, 72 kilos. And he said, you need to go and check that again, right? So
That's probably good at the time.
It was something along those lines.
Yeah, at the time I'd say there was only one
No, I'm
person.
sorry, I was talking.
I know, but that's probably why I only seen one person do the full body weight dip in our gym. Darren Gabriel had hit 72 kilo dip at 72 kilos body weight, and I was blown away by it. But then you must have, I was probably going, who's this clumping?
Yeah. They obviously didn't believe me, but I submitted that video and bumped into him the next day in Boulder World, which is a climbing spot up in Belfast. Then he invited me up to his house and for what he called the Bar Wars Day.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard of the community yet. And I was actually out one night and got very drunk. The next day I was very hungover and didn't want to stay in the house. So I decided to just tap in his address and go up and see what was going on. And there was maybe, as soon as I went up, there was 10 people swinging around bars. And right away, I just knew, here's me, there's something different.
Yeah.
And this is something I was searching for, but didn't know I was searching for. As I said, I was about to walk away from fitness. Walked up, was that hungover I couldn't partake. But watching all these guys going at it, that was me hooked. And that's hard.
Yeah, that was like we did the first couple of Bar Wars days, and it started off, it was just me and those 5, 6, 7 guys from the gym that were all training together. I wrote this final routine, like 10 muscle ups. At the time we couldn't even do a muscle up without chicken winging or anything like that. 10 muscle ups, 10 pull ups, something along what the final is now. Dips, burpees, pistol squats. And it was just the first one was just 8 of us in the back garden. And I think it was the second or third one you came to, second one probably.
Yeah.
And I think even at that stage it went from 8 to about, I think it was about 40, 50 people in my back garden.
Yeah.
All just, of all abilities, all just doing handstands and messing around. We're doing, well, yeah, the world, now we wouldn't really class them as muscle-ups, but the word muscle-ups, like,
The one thing that always stuck out for me, sorry for interrupting, but I'm not really sorry. The one thing that stuck out for me was Pete Wilson.
Yeah.
I remember Ali's Mrs. Colling always puts on a lovely spread anytime they
What?
wear up. But when we moved inside, I think it was raining actually, wasn't
Sorry, got it.
it? Yeah.
yeah.
And then we went inside and I seen Pete Wilson in his kitchen doing tiger bands, single arm handstands. I was just blown away by it. Absolutely blown away because we'd never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't.
How did you move away from Street Workout Belfast, or decide that you were going to move away and just be?
It wasn't even moving away. I'd started all the bar work. I was only training and doing all this stuff.
Do you actually know how you got into it in the first place?
Calisthenics?
Yeah. by bringing Max down.
I taking Max.
That's
Taking Max to parkour. Max and Alex and the two kids taking them to parkour classes.
Said Paul.
No, yes, he was taken at the time, but yeah, it was in the same. And it turned out the parkour. So I was going down as a what do you call it? I think I was like 16.5 stone. One of the dads taking their kids down. You sit on the seat and watch them for 2 hours. They're all running around doing parkour, and all the adults are just sitting there, doing nothing for 2 hours. But and then I get like seen. There was a wee door over at the far side of this big warehouse, and I went over and looked in the door, and there was people all doing handstands inside this wee room. And I was like, as soon as I seen it, I was like, holy shit, am I on in there? And then I didn't even say shit. But anyway, I was home I went home that night and messaged Steve Bell, who was running the program, the street workout program, and that was on a Thursday, and I started it the next Monday. And that was me hooked.
Yeah.
And I think even in terms of the storyline of what happened, it was just basically went from 16.5 stone in the first year, from being able to do nothing, losing like 3.5 stone, get down to 12, I think 11.5 stone, 12 stone. And I lost a load of weight and completely transformed everything that I do in fitness and training, and then handstands, muscle ups, all that stuff. And even with me and the kids, it turned in for me just taking in the parkour. I think within about 3 to 6 months, I was taking into the parkour classes and learning backflips with them while they were doing it. You know what I mean? Instead of just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
And it basically just the actual love for calisthenics just took off. See, from that very first class, I was hooked. And then, as I say, it just kind of evolved. The bar wars just came from nothing. It came from us learning in the classes, and then getting better, but then wanting to see what other people were actually doing, because even at that time there wasn't even much Instagram happening on Instagram. I mean, there wasn't even on Instagram then, so I didn't even know what other people were doing. And so you know yourself as well, even going back 3-4 years ago, even the freestyle stuff back then wasn't nothing what it is now. Oh. And basically it just started off getting people, just trying to get more people involved and get more people together.
That's right, yeah, because the first time I met you was the festival, and you just came down to watch with, like you mentioned Pete earlier, Paul came down, and like, you remember that comment, the first one you broke your ankle in, like,
it was,
but the two of them for second, and like you said, like Pete stood out loads to you, like, and at that day, I think everyone would have agreed how much you like, was just everyone like,
there's a huge difference gap between the people who were in the competition. It's huge gap.
But there was a big kind of, I think at that time then a lot of Belfast people were looking at those two maybe, like, and that's why I asked like how he's got started. And like Paul didn't even train really calisthenics.
Well, in fairness, Paul was teaching my kids parkour in that class, but Pete Wilson came through the same program, the same street workout program.
But there was a lot that came out of that.
But
program.
that basically worked as well. That we kind of did move away from that. We were doing the bar war stuff as well while that was in there, but we kind of outgrew the program. It's even like the program we were running in our gym at the minute. After a year, so there's only so far you can take people through a program, and then everyone's going to have their own things that they want to work on. So it just came to the point where if you progress so much further than most of the people that are in the class, because not everybody's going to be as dedicated as you to continue to progress. You know how much it takes to keep the gains going, and you come to keep attacking, consistently attacking, and then so you just basically outgrew the program, the street workout program,
because it's
not.
It
was the same. You can't teach a load of people who are still learning handstands and planches, whereas when you progress too far, so there's a few of us it went too far for the program to cater for us anymore, so we just moved out and then started training ourselves.
But like that was, like for us down here, say, looking at it, we thought that was really cool, that like you started in one program but it ended up developing 3 or 4 clubs from one program, because Pete went and done his own thing.
But even Pete went out and done his own thing. I've got the Bar Wars thing going. Nick Simpson, who was the coach, he's got his own gym open in Belfast now, the Movement Loft. So yeah, there's
how would you class looking at the scene up there? Like, we in Aberdeen, there's more, I wouldn't say calisthenics, but there's more like that movement kind of style of training or whatever kind of would run you. There seems to be a lot more clubs or something up your way than down here. Would you feel like that up there? Or?
No,
not really. I mean,
not at all.
No,
that's the only the movement loft that Nick's opened up. That's the only movement one we do. Fucking calisthenics.
Yeah, but if you put them all under a similar category,
There's plenty.
Like you've got Frank.
And again, no disrespect in the movement law, but they do, and there's phenomenal. You know, I mean, their handstand game is it's out there. But I mean, when you come to our clubs, you're getting everything. You're getting freestyle. You know, you're getting all your statics. There's a few clubs up our way, up in Belfast. I mean,
that's what I mean. I wouldn't say. Sorry, go.
A lot of them are teaching a lot of movement.
Yeah, I wouldn't class them all calisthenics specific, but I'd consider that there's more interest in like movement, if you get me, rather than just like the normal generic gym or going to CrossFit. I think there's
there is plenty happening, and again there is a decent scene like up around Belfast, but it kind of, because you're in it and you're watching that, it's still pretty small. Like, you know, there's not really that much going on. You know, even next thing the Bar Wars final next week will be a real good coming together of everybody, even up in Belfast. But there's not much that happens that does get everybody together. You know, everybody's just going to their own. There's not much interaction between anybody. Or
it seems like there's a lot more adults up there doing it than there would be.
Yeah, well, there's nothing really. Still nothing really for the kids up in Belfast. There's still nothing. I don't really have the time to put the effort into creating kids programs as well. You really need somebody else just to do it, but there's nothing really for the kids.
I actually do have the time. I don't have the facilities. Where I'm operating out of the compound room, it's not child friendly.
Yeah.
So it's basically a bodybuilding gym. But there's moves coming in next year that's probably going to facilitate for that. So that's something I'll definitely be looking into.
Yeah. Do you think like there's obviously a lot of scope for that up there? Like, if you,
of course there is.
The amount of parents from the compound room that come and say to me, "Can you teach my kids?" Or like, where do we teach them? You know, yes, we will definitely get a program running, but we need the facilities for it.
Well, look, like me and Paul obviously have the playground open. The downstairs that we'll have for parkour is too small. All the classes that we'll have on are full. So we're looking at a new gym at the minute. We're in the process of looking for somewhere now. Our lease is pretty much ending this month, so we're trying to get out of there as soon as possible. And we've got all the parkour stuff for the kids. So the calisthenics is next on the list for us as well, I suppose. I'm not like Paul will be looking after all that, but once we get a new place, there'll be much more scope for it. For adults up in Belfast, if they want to learn anything, movement, freestyle, reps and sets, movement, specific handstands, specific training, there's loads of places in Belfast to go into.
Yeah, look, I don't actually genuinely think that, and I think everyone up there, like, you all kind of seem to get along. Like, there doesn't seem to be like no one really sees each other as competition. Like, you two could technically. Not that you do, but you know what I mean? Like, you could see each other as, well, I'm not talking
competition. Look, he's white and I'm black. You know, come on.
I'm good and he's evil.
Good and evil.
I'm sexy and he's not.
So, like, but like, everyone seems to kind of work together. And like, that's a big thing to say for Belfast of all places.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's supposed to be.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's been a bit of religious trouble up there. Like,
Two stones being there.
Because where you are based is more predominantly Protestant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you interact all right there, yeah?
Yeah, there's no issue at all. No issue whatsoever.
Everybody loves Michael.
He's an easy fella to get along with, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, me and Ali's already crossed this path before with our members wanting to change clubs with each other. And our attitude is, as long as you're training, you know, there's no hard feelings whatsoever.
I think we talked about it.
You have to be that way.
I think me and you talked about that before, that like different coaching styles don't always suit everyone. That like what you say might suit someone more than the way Ali says it, and vice versa. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't mean you're a better coach or you're a better coach.
I think that's the thing. So more so for big calisthenics as well. That everybody's got their wee strengths and weaknesses, and somebody can be trying to teach somebody something for months, and they go to see somebody else and they say one thing to them in a different way, and that is the one thing that makes them get what they haven't been able to get. You know, so if you just want to see people progress and you don't care about where they're going to get it, then it has to be that way.
I think it would be small-minded to be any other way.
Yeah.
And it's the one thing that I love about calisthenics as well, is the open freedom in it. You know, it's sure if there's a better coach to do that, or you think there's a better way to achieve that, and it's not here, I'm behind you 100%. Go and do it.
Yeah.
We have both recommended clients of ours, members of our gyms, to another coach. You know, go here, get what you need there, then go there, get what you need there, and you're going to end up with a much better all-round game.
Yeah.
And then that's the beauty in it, is the openness in it and the freedom in it.
I think
That's
people,
just
I honestly think people only come to my gym for the crack with. Because my coaching style ain't that good. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
But but that's a genuine thing though. Like, you can go to someone just because they're happy for you if you've caught something, or if you get your first muscle up and that person's actually as happy as you are.
Don't get me wrong. Everybody in our gym is making mad gains. They're all progressing, you know. And it's not even through with the calisthenics bit. Yes, you can get coached, but most of it is just practice and repeating and doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your coach will pick out wee things here and there, but it's mostly just keep doing it. You know, if you're doing something wrong, somebody's there to see you. A lot of the time, even the other people in the class can pick out what people are doing wrong. So I'm there as a coach, and a lot of the other people in the class can simply see what the person's doing, what somebody else is doing wrong, and all that. You know, everybody's helping each other. I suppose that's what makes all the calisthenics classes so good. Is everybody's learning together, helping each other, and.
So you regard your group dynamic just as important as the coach, like.
100%. Yeah.
So what, like, look, we would have remember like. Jamie ran our adult classes for a good while, and like, I think, like, we weren't saying anything different in terms of the way you're trying to teach, but he'd speak differently, or like I'd speak differently to the way you'd speak, or we just word something differently, but it might click better with the way he said it than the way I said it, and then it's kind of, I think, if you understand your group, then it's a little bit easier to be like if someone prefers a technical coach, you might send them on to Michael, and if you think someone responds better to just that bit of like, go on, you can do it. They don't need. Sometimes someone doesn't want to be told, 6 times like,
well, that's
place your foot here. Or,
that's why even in our, there's nearly always somebody else there to coach me, because I'll be like, just do it, and then someone else will be like, if people are afraid to kick up their hands, and just fucking do it. You know, you're not going to learn. You don't just go for it. Forget about the fear and just do it. Whereas, like Lewis or Paul may take a bit more time and say, well, place your hands here and do this wee kick first. And I'd be like, stop being a furry and get up early.
But I think you need to.
You don't coach in my gym.
I coach in your gym all the time.
It's free coaching. That's right. You do too.
But you need to figure out like. The people you're working with and which style of coaching suits them, because if you talk to someone too much and it's in one ear or the other, they don't understand what you're saying, but if they're close and you're just like, go again, you nearly have it, that might be all they need to hear, like, or you're really close, go again, that might literally be all they're looking for. So that's why like different coaches obviously suit different people and stuff, and for people going to your class, as you said, you just want them to progress, so if you think they're going to progress better under someone else.
I mean, initially at the start, we tried. Well, we tried. Our idea was to get the clubs together, get my club and his club together, to let the members get to know each other. But they're actually, even on a Tuesday night now, I've got some of my guys meeting up with his guys to go to the gymnastics club in Saddle to train together.
And can I ask you before you just so people kind of would understand that, like, do you think that has like benefited your clubs or made it worse?
Oh, absolutely benefited. Yeah.
So like, obviously working together has obviously helped, yeah.
And we would have nights out, gym nights out, and we always combine our gym nights out. My guys would meet up with his guys, and we all meet in the town, have a few drinks, and
definitely for me, what makes the calisthenics community what it is the interaction of everybody. Like, it's not even, everybody's all at different stages, and we're all learning different stuff, and we all have our own wee preferences of what we like to do, but at the end of it, everybody's still together. Whenever you get people in their room together and they're learning calisthenics, it's freaking, everybody loves it, like, So that's it. That is more important than anything else. That's what keeps everything. That's what keeps even the people that necessarily don't make the gains as quickly, don't get hooked on the gain side of it. That's what keeps them coming back. The crack, the community, and just fun side of it.
We had a conversation in his van one night before.
In my van.
Grab your hands in his car.
It was basically, this was on the verge of the two clubs kicking off. And if you remember, we said no matter how far this goes, we can't lose the banter and the crack in the classes. I said because that's what kept us. That's what always kept us pushing further. was you're not going to a gym. As good as it is going to a gym and doing your sets and reps, it's monotonous. And my experience working in a gym, it's hard to retain that without getting bored.
Yeah.
Like I said, if we keep what brought us into it, if we keep that one aspect, it's going to constantly have people staying and coming back.
Definitely.
I mean, we even in our place, I think we started out, right from the start, we had about 40 adults, and I think out of that 40, there's probably a core of 30 that are still there, and it hasn't really grown that much in terms of numbers because most of the classes are full, but it's the same sort of after those other 10 that are coming in and going out, that same 30 that are there, just...
Yeah, I'd regard retention
Yeah.
like shown more than like having like a brand new class every month. Like retention's a better sign that you're doing something right than like, oh well, I have 6 new clients this month and they're gone the next month. Like the fact that you can keep 30 people doing something the same obviously shows that you've gotten them interested in it. Like,
And you don't know what type of day someone's having before they come into your class. That's the thing. And that's one thing I realised very early on from a few experiences that I went through. I mean, one girl even messaged me saying, you've no idea the type of week that I've had, and leaving your class tonight has put me back up on top again. So you don't know. It's sometimes it's bigger than calisthenics.
yeah.
But calisthenics creates something else that you don't know what psychological problem people
Yeah,
are
I mean,
going
that's
through.
a
And
thing.
it's you have to take that into consideration.
It's like if you do start calisthenics and it's for you, it'll change your life.
Absolutely.
Without doubt, like
Yeah, your before and after picture, sure.
I don't even care about that. You know,
No, but I just like...
I know, but it's like that's like nobody. That's the other thing. Nobody gets in. Well, not most people I know don't get into calisthenics caring about physique. It just comes. If you train hard, it just comes. You don't worry about that and what we're eating and all this. You just freaking go in and learn.
Have fun.
Love learning what you're doing. So,
That was the biggest difference to it, that like we talked about that the last time, but like you're not doing it, as you said, you don't really care. Like the physique stuff's not really what interests you. It's learning a new skill and then practicing that skill, and when you learn that skill, I want to learn another one there, where you keep changing the skills.
On the flip side of that, like whenever you've never had biceps and all of a sudden you do, it's kind of class.
And they just come along.
Like,
You can't say that and not throw them up.
but I wanted to ask, like you were saying about uniting everyone, like I would have regarded you as like someone that very much tried to like get everyone together, like through Bar Wars, but like you were very direct in terms of like you'd message me, here, are you joining this month, are you gonna do this, and like not just me, like you'd contact everyone, like
it's kind of even now I can't keep up with it anymore, but yes, that was the thing that got Bar Wars really started, because I was just messaging everybody, you know, as soon as I see, like there was a time where like my girlfriend hates it half the time just because I'm like flat out messaging. Awkward. But yeah, it's just constantly messaging people. If I'd see a video on Instagram and comment on it and say, well done, what's next? Just constantly messaging people all the time. But it took that to start as well, just to get people involved. And I suppose at the same time too, it was making them, drawing them in too.
Yeah.
You know, there was somebody pulling them in. Here, have a go at this challenge, have a go, we're meeting here, do you want to come? I'll be down here. And I did make a point of, and I still do, trying to get out and about and go other places and put that extra effort in, like going down to Cork when I can or whatever it is, or if you're passing the gym, call in and see the person. He's just trying to cement.
But you did, like, I think we'd all said, like, as you said, you got started because he messaged you. Mm-hmm. You messaged me, you messaged him, to the point people were like, tell you leave us alone, like, because you'd be always at, but it was a good thing that you were asking people to get involved in what you were doing, and it was only because you wanted people to do calisthenics, like, and I thought it was great for, say, like, people starting our adult stuff, that it gives them something to like have a focus on, and I'll try that skill that Ali's after asking us to do this month or whatever, and it gives people something to try out, especially if they were starting. And then I wanted to ask you, like, do you regard what you do, I do anyway, I regard what you do as more accessible than freestyle, if that makes sense?
It is, but I sort of go through this over and over again, you know, when you set the challenges and stuff like that. My initial goal was to always get more and more people involved and get, you know, just, the problem is, the actual interaction comes from people who are already sucked in. You know, when you set a challenge, you get more people who, like say you set a challenge of crow stands, you'll probably get more people who can already doing it rather than people just giving it a try. It was all like the focus at the start was also just to try and get more and more people involved. And that still is, but now it's kind of evolved more where we're just trying to actually build the sport more and get, you know, that's just the way it's kind of evolving. You can get more people involved with the classes and stuff, but the focus is now more on getting people that are already in, giving them things to aim for and helping them improve.
But would you have seen, like, what would you have seen, like, just by actually being in a bodybuilding gym, like, when he'd set challenges, like, I always felt like you put up stuff with guys in your place in the compound actually just trying some of the challenges and stuff, like, and being willing to give it a go.
Myself and Gareth Weir were
The Celtic of Bar Wars Ireland.
nearly every time me and Gareth speak. I was up helping Gareth set up his new calisthenics program, Cookstown Calisthenics. And every time his name comes into it, and you have to appreciate the work that he's put in. As much as it's going to kill me saying it. No, all joking aside, we always talk about where it started and where it is now. Not even talking about freestyle. Just the reach that he was able to get, his energy, the amount of work he put in, hard calling to still stick him. But see, you look at, take Ultimate Bar Wars just for example. Last year, 2 years ago, there was one girl, Laura Moore, was the only girl that could enter.
Yeah. 1
year on, you had, I'll go ahead and say it, the females blew the guys out of the water for me.
What?
Yeah, last year,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what's going on in Bar Wars, is it?
That's why we all
Jamie taking the tone down again.
But
always.
Ali's hot tub, like.
But going from one female to
There was 16 last year and 20 this year.
20 this year. But there's no, the girls alone and the fellas, they're not the same, now they're not afraid to get into it. Whereas 2 years ago was, I couldn't do that, I'm not good enough. But now they're seeing, and it's the ones that aren't afraid to get in, and I'm not even saying do bad, but do less than everyone else. They're the ones that's encouraging other people that think they're not good enough to get stuck in.
Mm-hmm.
But that and the monthly challenges, I mean, those monthly challenges have pulled so many people in from all over the country.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
It's the interaction and
the
growth in that part of it alone is fantastic.
See, I'm just on that. You need more people actually doing it. It really is hard to get people to do challenges. Like, it really is. You know, they're probably doing these things. There's so many people out there that, even if they try them, they won't send the videos in. And I know there's loads of people that are going, have a go at them. And
she still have his name on some of the leaderboards.
Yeah.
That was like 3 years ago.
Although in saying that, I don't think he'd be on it anymore.
Well,
First five
I see it last week.
I got your back.
Still there.
The pull-up board, is that the one you're on?
Yeah, still
Pull-up.
have it, yeah.
18.
18?
Yeah,
In around
18.
there.
Ah,
No, was
yeah,
it?
so-
Yeah, you and Nolly got
That was 26.
not pull-ups, like. I
But
took a
yeah,
picture out the other the week.
Jay Hem's making a comeback.
Yeah, and Nolly's up there as well. Nolly Moore, remember him?
that's right. He's still on there. But he had about 16, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I think 16. And next update, I think 16 is probably.
The
gone.
leaderboards are actually still sellotaped up all around the playground.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see. Like, it's cool seeing the names on it as
It
well.
is, isn't it?
Of course it
because
is. Aye.
Just seeing like, oh, well, he's still doing it. Oh, he's not.
Yeah.
Or like seeing who's still around, even like is cool. Like,
It's a time.
Do you want
thing as
another
well.
really good thing also? See, whenever we only got together,
true, wasn't it?
there wasn't that many big numbers. Do you know, I had a big chin up, I had a big dip.
Big what?
Gareth Weir. Deep. And it almost took a year, and then you seen everyone starting to come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
You should look at Luke, because I think he's prominently more focused on the Bar Wars style training, as I would call it.
Yeah.
Like his front lever is ridiculous now, and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's solely through getting involved in these kind of
Yeah,
competitions.
there's no doubt. Once if you get involved and you start doing challenges, it takes your game from one level to the next. You know, I'm not talking about becoming freaking professional, the best of the best or whatever. Just everybody's own level of where they're at. If you're starting to do challenges and put yourself up against yourself properly, you're only going to get better. And that's, you know, it's evident. And then once you hit one of them leaderboards, you kind of get sucked in a wee bit, and you go, right, well, now I'm involved in this now. You know, and you can feel that you're totally part of it just by getting on one leaderboard. You know.
But even when you were running the adult classes, like it was good for the guys in your class to kind of jump in on it, wasn't it?
because they all didn't send you up much videos because there wasn't any point. But all the lads in the class were attempting the challenges all the time. Yeah.
But it gave, like you said, like all the clubs, like Luke's, you know, the clubs that get involved then feel part of a bigger community as well. Like that,
That's it. Yeah.
they're not just the 6 of them in the class, that they're involved with, like, you know, how many
That is
other people.
at the end of the day, that was the exact aim of Bar Wars. That's all it was. It was just get all of
Get them all together.
and that's why I don't even care about what happens outside Ireland. I just want everybody, because Ireland's a small enough place, but it's small enough that everybody can actually really, really well. Just not even with the internet, but just it's small enough that we can meet up, and you know, you have something on in Dublin. Everybody should be going. Everybody should be making more of an effort just to come along, and you know, the more you attend events and get involved, the more you're going to improve.
So I got, just based off what you just said there, like I had a meeting on Friday and it was with a sports marketing company, and that was what I was talking to them about, that like, I want to grab the sport XYZ, and they're like, do you not think like, are you not like promoting like rivals then? No. I was like, how am I promoting rivals? What are you talking about? It's like, if the sport gets bigger through everyone, then I'm getting bigger as well. Like, how am we like, it was a very, like you said earlier, it's a very small mindset of people that think like, I don't want to talk about what Michael and Ali are doing up in Belfast, because like, we're that, you know. And it was just, this was coming from a marketing company, and I was like, do you not see like how's that ridiculous that statement is? Like,
it's funny you said there, like about you mentioned the word sport. It is for me, definitely it is turning into a sport. You've got the freestyle competitions, you've got the Bar Wars competitions. Just seeing the way everything is progressing, it's not a way of training. It is, well, obviously it is, but for me it's definitely becoming a sport. Something that you put your time and effort into, and you can compete and you can get better and you can win things, rather than just, you know, you're going to the gym, you're just going to the gym, you're just training. Now we're creating different events, different ways of competing, and
like I don't think we wanted to just be a TRX class on a Tuesday or something, or kettlebell thing that you
see,
do.
I just touching on what you said there, Tim. I've had that said to me a few times in the compound room. A lot of the members, not the compound calisthenics members, the actual compound room members, they're amazing people, and they're always coming, what are you for this week? You can down to Dublin this week? And you'd say, we can down to Barmount, you can down to Irish Calisthenics Academy. And one guy in particular was just talking to me in passing. And he says, what are you up to this weekend? And says, well, I'm going to go down to see my friend Luke on the Irish Calisthenics Academy.
See you, Kate.
And he says, bye, Kate. And he was saying, what are you going down there for, to suss out the competition? And I was going, no, where are you down training? One of these not other calisthenics clubs? I'm like, yeah. And he said, but is that not like us going training with other members of another weightlifting gym? I went, yeah, that would be the equivalent, but this is completely different.
I've never even thought about people thinking that way. Like,
that's what I'm saying. And so that's what I'm saying. That is the equivalent, but this is a different discipline. This is a different mindset.
It depends. Like, you've never thought of that, and that's good. But I think if my background is in other sports, and you know, even if you're just working in gyms and stuff, they might, don't go train in that gym because like you're with us, or
exactly.
But
well, in fairness, like when you think about it that way, like even in the bar, like it's. Sorry, I'm just thinking, even in the Ultimate Bar Wars this year, people previously would have been telling, nobody's giving away their scores now, you see, so it is becoming more competitive. Don't get me wrong, it's all just cracking in the group chat, like, but nobody's giving out. Suppose that's competition. There's no point in telling everybody what you've done.
Yeah, there's a difference between
here, beat me, like,
difference between what you were saying there, though. That's just people like nervous on getting and being involved in your final day, as opposed to clubs just genuinely not wanting to like get involved not interact with other clubs. And it's like the only way a sport grows is by other clubs interacting with each other, being willing to like give each other ideas, what's working in your club, what's working in mine, how can we like I have a problem. What have you? And then
You have many problems. A problem.
I wish it was just the one. But if I come to you, like say we were chatting, I'm like, this is happening in our club, I'm not really sure how to solve it, and you're like, well, I did this when that happened. That's how sport goes, and like, you know, that's how the business side of it, whatever goes, and the sport as well, because you're able to help each other out.
It's the only way forward.
Yeah.
It is actually the only way forward.
The quickest way forward as well.
Yeah. Definitely.
What
And
with
it's-
sorry, I'm gonna cut that now. But like, what was how's everything gone with Bar Wars for both these?
What do you mean?
Like Ultimate Bar Wars.
Ultimate Bar Wars this year's. The women, like he said, the women are like surprise packages everywhere. You know, gains, people hitting like. I don't know how many like before this year. How many women in Ireland have you seen doing a back lever?
Um,
The only one I'd ever seen was Laura
Laura.
Moore. You know, and yet we had in the Ultimate Bar Wars competition this year, I think there was about 7 or 8 of them, maybe even more, all hitting straddle back levers. And you know, before the competition started, none of them kind of even dreamt that they would be doing it so soon.
Yeah.
But the Bar Wars thing, like Ultimate Bar Wars, definitely. The women are more. They're more willing to put themselves out there, which is surprising because you kind of think that they wouldn't be. But there's ones jumping in there this year. We started off with 20. We're still at 18. There's ones that are down there that are struggling to do the exercises, but they're there and they're committed and they're doing it and they're sticking with it and they'll be there for the final next week. Whereas on the men's side, we've had a lot of people drop out through injuries and different bits and pieces. But overall, it's growing every year. The standard's going up. We're working hard to try and make the strictness of the exercises harder, just to basically get the standards of everything a wee bit higher. You know, and each year it's progressing. Next year's going to be no different. We'll look at everything that's happened this year. We'll look at all the levels that everybody's at. We'll look at what people are capable of, where we want to take it to, what do we want to make harder for people, where do we need to see people progress, and we'll just basically look at everything and just make sure next year when we'll do it bigger, we'll do it better. But the main aim is to keep moving everything forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
so
I ask
next
you?
It's going to be a really good year for Ultimate Bar Wars.
Seems to like you mentioned the girls, like, so do you think that's down to say someone like Laura going and doing well, or do you think it's down to like your personality in terms of being willing to like entice people to come in?
I think it definitely. I think it is more for me just messaging people and getting people involved. 100%. You know, people may look at the likes. You know, they may have watched Laura's video, but Laura's so far ahead of everybody that she's off the scale. You know, there's none of the girls that are watching Laura and going, yeah, I'll do that. They're so far behind where Laura's at that they're coming in and they're learning a crow stand and they're learning a handstand, and then all of a sudden they're thought, I'm saying to them, do you know what? Fucking give this a go. Just give this a try. Keep moving forward. and I think probably me torturing them that much that I'll just have to do this. So maybe
she got me doing a set once. That was like terrible.
A set of what? I've never seen you do that.
record
About
that?
3 years ago.
What, handstand challenge? Get a camera on him there, handstand challenge. 10, 9,
I've done it.
8, 7, 6. Come on, you can't even do a handstand. I've never seen him do a handstand. Look, he's going against the wall. I can't do it, like. 5. Come on. 3.
Black out.
2.
What?
I'm not right.
See? Useless. So on that, you actually can't. Can you actually do a handstand?
Of course I can handstand.
I've never seen it.
You can do a backflip too.
So
Can you plunge?
did you? Not anymore.
Exactly.
Sort of.
Big guns are coming out. Woo!
Don't need it else. I have plunge like.
It's too wobbly. Don't want to hurt myself.
Well, just if any kind of newcomers kind of this year that you're really surprised with or perform well or anything.
There's a girl, Shauna Deegan, they're all talking about. Shauna Deegan, I think she lives up near Limavady, but she jumped into she hadn't really done any calisthenics.
Yeah.
I think she just was starting to follow the page, entered a few challenges, and she's only sitting mid-table. I think she's moved up to 9th this week, which isn't massive on the leaderboard, but just her actual enthusiasm and desire to get fucking stuck in, as they say, is second to none.
Yeah.
But the big surprise package for me this year was a girl called Callie O'Neill, Stewartstown Studios, teaches pole. She came she was sitting around mid-table last year, and she just went from here to there this year. But what she did last year, she got her first during Ultimate Bar Wars last year. Her along with a few others got their first ever ring muscle up. I think she went from 1 to 5 reps this year. From 1 rep last year to 5 reps this year. But what she done was she kept training her calisthenics all year.
Yeah.
Rather than doing the competition and letting it fade off, she just stuck at it. But every week, basically, where she was at last year to where she was at this year was just day and night. She was the big surprise package. And then there's in fact, all 4 women this year at the top of the leaderboard. 3 of them, the ones who are actually, I think, are going to finish in the top 3 this year, are all newcomers.
Really, in
Yeah.
female.
One of them in his gym, one Rachel McKinstry, one from my gym, Vic Sharp, and another girl, Lorna Short, who just trains by herself in another gym in Belfast.
That's what I think's like good. The fact that you just said that she's just trying by herself, but she joined in. That like, you seem to get a lot of people.
See, that's the thing you're talking about. See, I see somebody. Sometimes I see a video of somebody and they don't even know there's a community out there, and I message them and go, "Whoa, brilliant, well done,
creep, isn't it?
Yeah.
well done."
Sliding into
Have a look at
DMs
this,
left,
or-
right, and centre.
I
Like.
know, that's it. It works, like, it works. But though, yeah, so the women's had loads of newcomers this year, and they're all, most of them most of them this year were all new to it, and
Gareth, obviously a big surprise, like top of the leaderboard. Like.
surprise there, like.
Vic Sharp, I had Vic Sharp tipped to be really, really good. Last year I put her name forward.
She wasn't doing Cal's then.
She wasn't doing calisthenics yet. She's just when it comes into competition mode, she knows how to switch on. The 2 biggest surprises for me this year was without a doubt Callie O'Neill and Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse Rachel.
And it's probably me being biased because Mighty Mouse is representing my club.
Not at all. Best, like.
Even as her coach, she blew my expectations out of the water.
So, by the time this goes out, it will probably be after. So, what are your predictions for the final day?
Who's going to win?
Well,
Vic Sharp first, Minnie Mouse second, Lorna third, and poor Kelly O'Neill has picked up an injury.
Yeah,
she'll not be able to see it through to the final. So the 4th place is probably going to go to Tracy Weir-Warren. Might scrape back up there, like.
You can never write Tracy off.
And
She's never being the Terminator. Just keep going.
And then on the men's side, it's going to be Gareth Weir, then me. And then Luke Hand, or possibly Calvin Morrissey. Again, Luke Hand's picked up.
Is Calvin coming up?
Calvin Morrissey. The thing about Bar Wars is because it covers everything over the because it covers everything over 10 weeks. If you can't afford to have a bad week, you drop too many points if you have a bad week. And Calvin, probably being new to the whole format and everything, got off to a bad start. He had 2 bad weeks at the start, and he's never really been able to catch up. He is going to finish here, depending on what happens, in 4th or 3rd place. And to actually be able to pull that off from where because I think in the first week he came like, if you think you win, you get 20 points. If you come last, you get 1. I think in the first week he only got 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
And then the second week, I think he only got 5 or 6. And when you have people like Gareth Weir hitting 20, 19, 19, 19, you ain't catching him. If you have 1 bad week, you're not catching him. So hopefully people, and now we've done 3 years, there's tactics involved. And how you train, how you prepare, how you structure your weeks, how you hit your challenges. So and you learn through experience of doing it. So hopefully he'll come back next year a lot stronger. I've learned a lot from where he's made mistakes this year.
Yeah.
And that's where the sport element comes into it. And you've got to structure your training right. You've got to do it properly. And that's the only reason that I'm going to finish in second this year is I've got the experience, and I know that you've got to make sure that you max every week. There's people won't max, they'll feel that they're not really there to max the challenge 1 week, and they'll maybe not go just as hard. You can't do it that way. You've got to go hard at it every single week.
What does it say? It's because you picked the move that favourite you, Ali. How do you respond to that controversy?
Absolutely
Had
not.
it planned all year.
Because we'll put it out 3 months before. It'll be even more. We'll give people more warning this year, or more time to prepare. But we'll put everything out, like all the challenges, out 3 months, 4 months before the start date, to give everybody the same length of time to train everything. I discuss these things with loads of people before I make any decisions. We had a pistols class in the finals, totally ended up to benefit me though.
The other one I wanted to ask, but I kind of wanted to wait till Michael was here.
He's back.
Oh, he's back!
Yeah.
Hey! So, obviously the bar war stuff has gotten bigger, and then I'd regard maybe freestyle, like you've seen that we're kind of struggling maybe to get a competition at bar wars for freestyle.
No, we've got we've enough there. We've got 8 or 9 now already.
Yeah, well, what I mean by is that like the first Bar Monkey Festival you came down to was like 2016, and you mentioned Pete earlier. We had Paul at it. We had what I regard of 16 athletes at that one that were all at like a high level in terms of freestyle, and since then it just seems to have dipped a little bit. So what I'd ask is like, which style or form of competition do you think is going to grow more in the next world? Do you see freestyle getting bigger, or sets and reps? Or
the sets and reps, you get the sets and reps is one thing. The ultimate bar wars, although it's not just sets and obviously it is sets and reps, but it takes in so much more. I mean, you think of sets and reps, and just pull ups, dips. But the ultimate bar wars, it does give. There's more of a spread. It can be a lot more inclusive. You know, there's everything involved in it. Whereas the freestyle, anybody can jump in and do what we're doing. You can do you can do your burpees, you can do your goblet squats, you can do your dead hang, you can do as many pull-ups as you can, but you can't necessarily just jump into your freestyle competition or start it easily. It takes a lot more time and effort and dedication to get to a level where you can jump in. Yeah. And that's really all it is. In Belfast, there's not really. Well, where can you train? You can train freestyle in your gym, my gym, and then gymnastics places. You know,
but like that's really more than Dublin. Like
if I'm not there or Ali's not there, the guys are basically going off their own accord. You know, there's nobody there to say this will work well with that, or you know, I would love to see the freestyle explode.
I would love to see it too.
In Belfast, but the sort of pattern that we have noticed over the last 2 years is once Ultimate Bar Wars kicks off, it sort of dwindles a wee bit, and then everyone's focused on Ultimate Bar Wars, and then we're all, me and was already talking about freestyle. Can't wait till this is over, now we're getting in there freestyle again.
So that's what we're sort of talking about seasons, like seasons. We got the Bar Wars season and then the freestyle season, where we're just, you know, once the Bar Wars up, we can go and have a bit of fun, mess around. The Bar Wars took over 6 months this year. Like I was saying, so the competition runs for 3 months, but to do it properly, you've got to be training for 3 months before it. You know, to really, and that's going to become more clear next year. Me and Weir 1 and 2 this year. Hope. But we were training all the stuff in the Bar Wars for 3 months before, and then like when you can't do anything else, you can't be freestyling, you can't be playing around. Luke Hans picked up an injury because he was freestyling. He wasn't able to do his burpees this week because he was freestyling. Oh, really? Yeah, you know that's cost him second. Probably could have cost him second place. You know, because can't wait to get the Bar Wars out of the way, and I'll be straight back on the freestyle for a while. And the focus does go with a lot of the time because we're running the 2 clubs that most people are involved in. Yeah. So whatever we're focusing on, they're all doing it too.
Yeah.
So that's so true, because literally the reason we didn't do the Bar Wars is because we had tournaments in Eindhoven, and we were thinking we wouldn't have time to do both of them.
Anytime you've asked us to get involved, I'm like, I have my own stuff and I've got like competitions coming up or whatever, and I'm like, I'm training for that, and it can't be an either or. I kind of think it's an either or. Yeah. Thing nearly.
At a certain time, 100% is.
Because for you guys, like when you set it up, as you said, you trained for 6 months just on that. Yeah. Obviously, I wouldn't give up 6 months of my year when freestyle is my predominant thing, and that's why I asked. Like, you know, it's probably going to be something where they are very different, but like even at our festival, people that were just coming in and kind of their first event seeing both, they were like, "This is great," because like. If I don't want to do your thing, I can look over there and I might want to get involved in that.
Well, that's what we're trying to do next week as well. Have a bit of everything. So we'll get the parkour, the freestyle, and then there's all the Bar Wars final and all the sets and reps. So, like, I love it all. Yeah. And there's Michael loves it all. Yeah. You know, so anybody that comes along next week can take part or watch all the stuff that they love. You know.
That's the thing, because I don't think it has to be an either or either.
No, not at all.
Like we obviously would do like whatever, like that stuff, like sets it, but it's not at the level you guys are at, and then vice versa, like you aren't doing as much freestyle as us because you're focusing a lot on Bar Wars, but there's no reason why people can't dip into both.
Because well, we love both, and that's the crack and the enjoyment of catching freestyle moves is way above way above and beyond most stuff you'll do in sets and reps. For me anyway, the joy, like you were mentioning the car on the way down, me hitting a PB and handstand push-ups was awesome, but did I
Screaming in the background.
But also, like you think, even the first time you catch a shrimp flip, the joy in that's way above and beyond that.
First
Like,
muscle up. So,
Yeah.
you know, first chin up. But that's the one, I mean, that's what I love about training up and retraining. And you guys too. I mean, whether it's one chin up or your first 360, everybody gets the same amount of support.
So we said that the last one as well. Everyone's always kind of delighted for you,
Oh,
no
yeah,
matter what
yeah.
you get or where you're.
Yeah.
It was your first time. Even Jamie was saying that you kind of think back to your first time and you're just as happy for a day and the day got it. Like,
But I think like you can go and do sets and reps in the gym on your own. I don't think freestyle is something like I've tried to do it a few times and I need to break my shoulders. Like you kind of need a few people around you.
It's a hype game, isn't it? Like you need it
Yeah.
there, somebody screaming at you. Come on, like whenever we do get going, I'm sure whenever we get, it was like even last year, the Tuesday night sessions in the playground.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got maybe 10, 15 people all freestyling, one on the bar after another. No, nothing, just whatever, try whatever you want, go for whatever you want. And the buzz is insane, like.
It is.
How would you regard is the atmosphere the same for you, sets and reps or bar wars compared to freestyle?
Freestyle is totally different buzz altogether. Totally different
But
because
the support's the same.
yeah, the sport's the same, and it's
Yeah.
no, and it's during the sets and reps. We'll have crack, and it's basically just really slagging people. But whenever it comes to freestyle, the energy level just goes up through the roof, like you know.
Yeah.
You know, you need that adrenaline, and people, somebody catches something, and the next person. Once you see somebody catching something, you're like, I'm doing that, and then it doesn't work. No matter how much you want it doesn't work.
Yeah, so like that'd be
But the buzz for the freestyle when you're in it it's far better. Like.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. But then you'll never. It's seeing like Ali was doing his gradings yesterday with his squad, and there was girls out there were digging in deep to get their chin ups, and the whole chin was just erupting for them. Do you know what I mean? So there's it's the same amount of support, but the freestyle buzz is completely different. I think it's more adrenaline
Yeah.
fueled,
I feel alright then.
isn't it?
but like the sets and rep stuff is like it's predominantly that kind of like pushing yourself through. I know what you mean. Like the thrill of catching something
Yeah.
is in freestyle, and then it's like going on a roller coaster or something where you have that moment of
Yeah.
but then the sets and rep stuff is just pure. Like that's actually something I wanted to ask. Like, what do you think like ultimate powers like it brings out in people? And I think it's probably what you're just saying there.
It
Like
exposes. We've spoke about this, and me and Gareth Weir speak about this in a lot of detail. Ultimate Bar Wars will expose who you actually are as a person and as an athlete. So it'll expose whether you know how to go into the trenches or whether you're afraid of it. And that's probably putting it bluntly. But it'll also train you how to go either way.
yeah,
And you get a lot of people stepping into the competition, and 2 or 3 weeks in, they're pulling out of it because they've seen what they actually have to put into it.
yeah.
And that's what I mean by it'll expose. So if you think you're coming in with a great shot, which most people actually are, if you hit burpees week, it's gonna show you who you actually are. And me and we are always talk about, do they have an engine? Can they go into the trenches? And that's when you'll be exposed. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean you'll learn a lot about yourself by getting into something like Ultimate Bar Wars.
See, we try to cover everything. So it's easy. We're always posting videos on Instagram. You know, like any one of us could do a quick plans video and make it look better than it is, and have this perception out there if we are.
Everyone looks great on Instagram.
Yeah. You know, but Bar War, there's no hiding in Bar Wars. Like,
Yeah.
you know, all right, it's sets and reps. There's nothing. You know, it's not the freestyle stuff, but over 10 weeks, it'll show up every weakness that you've got.
Mm-hmm.
It'll bring out all your strengths. It will bring out every strength, and it will make you progress as a, what would you call it, a practitioner or as an athlete or whatever it is. Like, it'll make you progress over the whole range of what you need to be a good athlete in terms of strength, skill, endurance. You know, you've got your skills, but the bottom line is, if you don't also have fitness and the mindset to actually attack every week properly. Even the ones you don't like and the ones that are really hard, like goblet squats, like burpees, it's going to expose you.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But the main, like, definitely,
And it is okay to have a weakness.
Yeah.
I think it's important to recognise that. There's nobody goes into Ultimate Bar Wars without a weakness.
Yeah.
Even Gareth Weir. Do you know what I mean? So,
What was Garrett's weakness?
he broke his foot.
Mike, I got a flame torch at him.
Yeah, what was
What,
it?
did you drop a brick
He
on
drank
it?
milk from Fluids.
Aye,
Ali trying to get that first place, drops a
he
brick on
didn't,
his foot.
he
like.
didn't really have doesn't really have a weakness. Not for bar, what to find one.
He's after
Front
saying
lever.
to me,
Front lever, like, that's it.
he's after saying to me he wants to try freestyle after it.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
How do you think he'll cope with that? The difference?
See how many copes with that, right?
Yeah.
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 So mate, I just like I'm on the look obviously.
And that's like that first night, even the first night he was in the gym, he caught alley oop.
Yeah,
You know, the first night, I think it was third go at it, he caught alley oop.
You probably could have landed
The first go he didn't even try swing.
Oh, I know, and then sort of 360, like he's like caught the 360, and I'm like, I think you should try a 720. He's like, that's what he's saying now. He says, not with the forwards over, I'm gonna catch a 720.
But his first alley-oop attempt, he didn't even swing. He just like went
Yeah,
for a muscle up
like a muscle
and nearly
up,
got over. Like
yeah.
he nearly got it,
Yeah.
and then you had to tell him, I think, no, you need a swing. He's like, all right, and then he and you just showed him how to step over or whatever, and he got it. Like,
I think if you have a good strong base, you're gonna do great in freestyle as well. You just have to learn the tricks, but you have to be strong to do freestyle too.
Yeah,
so what you said,
like
to-
DJ.
yeah,
DJ's a beast, and he just so
I
good at the
think-
freestyle now.
I say, you know, I'll
No.
creepily watch everybody what they're doing. DJ for me is probably the next one who could really go somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
I see
What do you
this,
just DJ?
just seeing this,
26.
how easy he's making
What,
things
yeah.
look.
26.
Just out
Yeah.
of nowhere.
Yeah,
He just
that's-
comes in like a shrimp flip.
That, but
Okay.
see, it's for calisthenics, anybody that has that explosive back strength is going to can excel, and he's got it. He's like long front levers, not even training them. Alley oop, that's mean.
He won Aiden's one like with 3 broken ribs, like,
Yeah,
and he won land like, yeah, like he just needs to get used to performing in front of people, and then,
I wish he had done Ultimate Bar Wars because he lapped it because he was new to the game, and
But
he thought he would have had a few weaker weeks. Some stuff that he wasn't
I don't
ready
think
for,
it's-
handstand game and stuff like that.
mm,
But I'd love to have seen what he would have been capable of because he's strong as fuck.
see, I just don't think it's what he. It's like the route he wants to go down.
Yeah.
Like he does a lot of that, and like the first night he came into us, he was holding the front lever, and we were just like, Jesus, like who's this lad like?
Yeah.
And then he was obviously like he caught alley oop, and he has a lot of big moves in his locker or whatever kind of word you want to use now, and it's just a case of like starting to put it together. And the longer he's not even training a year yet, like, but he came in, as you said, from the start just so strong, like,
Yeah.
and then
Where's he from, Jamie?
Ballyrack, just beside us, like he's just beside the club, and like I hadn't met him before that or anything. Didn't
Any background, gymnastics or anything? No.
no background. Just he was actually fairly overweight.
That
at
was
one
a
point.
Viking.
And he was just away at one point, just got in training and just like literally just hitting the gym and just kind of doing, like you said earlier, doing calisthenics but not realising what it was. He was just doing a lot of muscle ups, messing around and not really knowing. And then Alex brought him over because he's friends with Alex, and Alex said, well, I'm training in it, why don't you come over? And in fairness to him, we've had other guys come over, and because we don't have Jamie like running the adult class, we don't have a structured class anymore. So him coming in, he's walking into an environment where we're all kind of doing our own thing already, and he's walking into that. So it's very easy for someone to, I'm not coming back, because it's a bit intimidating when you walk in the first time and you see, you guys have said that in your own club, when people come up and do freestyle, others kind of stand off. But he stuck it out, like he stayed, no problems, like front levers for, probably helped that he was really strong from the start. But that's something that, like, do you think that's the difference with freestyle then to like Bar Wars or Ultimate Bar Wars, that like if sometimes when they see the level that freestyle is at, people might step back and not want to do that?
100%.
Yeah, people would feel embarrassed or
Yeah.
you get standoffish to get up there because they have to stand and fight that fear factor, which we all feel doing new stuff.
Yeah.
They all have to fight that standing with 10, 15 people watching them doing it.
It's mostly in his gym because in my club you can't. It's a private gym. You can't walk in and watch the freestyle happening. So everybody that comes into my gym have already seen it on social media and want to do it.
Yeah.
In Ali's gym, there's a lot of his programs going on, a lot of sets and reps, and then whenever we're doing a freestyle, you'll have a lot of people standing back. Ryan and Jordy is a prime example. And I basically just put the two of them on the spot. He said, right, you two, let's go. You're up on the bar. And Ryan was, what was he like? He had literally been shaking. Get up on the bar. Now his confidence was through the roof. Just by taking that one step, getting up on the bar, hearing the support of everybody around him. And that was them hooked. That was them.
I think it'd be good for them to win an hour here or whatever, that like everyone feels that. Like if me and Jamie come up to train with you, we're conscious of others watching us, or sometimes I feel like there might be an expectancy on me to like catch everything because like, oh well, he's already doing it, or so like no matter what kind of stage you're at, you feel that. Like it doesn't, and they probably think that you don't, you know, people like us wouldn't feel that, but you do, like just, you know, so for them, like if it's good for them to know that the only reason, if you're watching them, it's just to help, or I kind of sometimes step back because I feel like I don't want them to think I'm watching or something, you know, that kind of way. But in the long run, I think once you comment on something or you give them feedback on something, that it just breaks that tension then, and it's just getting over the first one, doing it once in front of someone, and then you're grand in that.
It's important. Even a lot of them, even if you do, every time you go back, I'm still the same. A lot of time when you go back, you're always a bit standoffish to get stuck in the first, at the start, until you actually get going. You get the first few swings out of the way, and then you start to get a wee feel. It's the time you go and don't even know what you're going to train or what you're going to do. Like, it's just.
And that's at any level, do you know, like in terms of having that feeling of like people, as you said, like you first few swings you're a bit like basically warming up or conscious of others like maybe in the room looking at what you're gonna do. I'm
kind of out of training at the moment, and anytime I do go back over, like you're just like 360, and I'm just like, you know, just a bit nervous.
Give me a chance here.
I know the lads, like, and it's still, even for me, it's just walking in, and especially even like the likes of mentioned again, DJ. It's only started, like I've been doing it a good while, and when I come back over and seeing the likes of him doing mad stuff, I'm like nearly looking at Gero saying, what are you expecting me to do that for? Like, Gero's always like, go.
And I think that's
a natural feeling, I would say, across the board.
I think people should know that, like that no matter what level you are at, that's a natural thing to kind of come across.
That in fairness, like that is definitely a big difference between doing your sets and reps and doing your freestyle. Like, you know, just getting up and even doing even beginners to getting up to try and do a 180. It's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Like dips,
it's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, and it, like sets and reps, you just jump up and do it. There's nothing, you know.
No exposure to embarrassment. Like with like chin ups, you can do them, or you can't. But there's no exposure to like, and that's why sometimes we struggle in the secondary schools because they're so terrified of like the rest of the group laughing at them.
Imagine that, like especially in the secondary school.
That age. So imagine us now, all adults, and you still feel it. 15, 16, it's like a million times worse. I just think it's like something. Regardless, when you start freestyle, you just know, look, that's just part of it.
See, on that point, I think, and for me, I progressed more in freestyle last year when it was just me and you, just the two of us, like doing.
It's just how we like it.
but just picking a real basic move and just drilling it over and over. And then as the weeks went on, there was no let's go in and we'll try 360 straight away. It was, you know, we'll go in and one day we'll just spin, touch the bar. Next day on the right, we'll try and catch it. You know, it was just slowly progressing rather than really pushing to do things that we couldn't do. Like.
And I think that's the way you need to do it. Just for the record, don't think everybody knows that Ali actually taught me my first class 360.
Yeah.
He actually did, in fairness.
Paul taught me.
You can let ego get in the way.
Yeah.
And ego will get you hurt.
I think I said to you before, I remember when we ran our workshop up with you, was that February or something, and I think I might have been talking to Aaron or something after, and I was like, the best thing about it was like, you were getting up and everyone, like it's your gym kind of almost, but you got up every time, didn't care if you made a show of yourself, like, which you did, like, but like, you didn't care if you didn't catch something, you just straight back up, and like, I thought it was good for people in your place to see you make mistakes, and like you said before, you share a lot of your files, so people see that it's a process, it's not, you know, oh, I'm amazing. It's like because Instagram's a fake like reality that you only see. You only see what you're able to do, but you haven't seen. Well, I could have been training 6 months to catch that, and then sometimes I think like when I'm training with people, I'll catch something, but there's nearly an expectancy that it's Jamie, like you know, like he should catch it, like, but they won't have seen that I've been trying that for 5 months, 3 days a week or something, you know, and then they don't see that, they just see the catch and they almost just expect it, like.
Yeah. No glory for you then.
Do you mean that's true? I mean, one thing I always say to my guys is that for every good video clip that's on Instagram, there's 1,000 bad ones. And that's it. And that's the sort of flaw of Instagram. And what I really learned, that is when sometimes I'm having a hard time now. It's when
I give you that little head on
it. My other star boy was down in Dublin, and Melanie Drasson was there, and Paxson was there. I remember watching them on a bar, and they were trying a switchblade variation, but they kept feeling it. And I remember just standing back, and they were talking, trying to figure this out. And I remember just standing back and going, "They're just us.
Yeah.
Only we're levels below." So these, I mean, Melanie Drasson, actual world champion. You would expect these people to go up on a bar every time and not miss a move, but that's what I learned. It's not like that.
No.
They still have this talk through their moves and visualize their moves and feel their moves.
Yeah.
Exactly the way we do.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned a lot just by watching them three trying to talk through one move.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'd like when we've been over in England and all, and like you train with the lads there, the majority of the day is just hitting the bar or failing and then like, but it's 6 hours of practice, but then you only see the 1 15-second clip that they've put up, and everyone thinks, oh, he's catching that all the time.
Do you know what? But it's like that when you actually go to when you actually go to some of the competitions and you see what people do, like, you know, it's not what their Instagram shows, like, you know, it's totally different.
You rang me after the qualifier in August, and like you were basically shocked that I like qualified, like. I mean, I thought you were good, but I mean, some of those guys are awesome, like, yeah.
Come on, seriously?
So what I said to you was that, like, exactly what you just said. You're like, I said it's alright for Instagram. I was like, it's on the day is just J Hemp, like. Yeah. On the day is just a completely
J
different.
Hemp on the day, is that a thing? Is it?
J Hemp was just
like,
known for.
Anytime I was going into any tournament competition, I'd practice a few bits and pieces, but I'd never have a set routine. And even Jamie's always like, you're gonna have to do something. And
I couldn't coach him.
I'll do it on the day. Don't worry about it.
Because he'd get up and he'd do one routine and be like, okay, we're gonna add like this move into it because I know we can do that, or maybe we change this because it'll flow better. And that's in my head, and then he gets back up for the second set and it's a completely different routine, like 4 completely different moves, like. And then on the day,
you're gonna have to make a comeback.
Yeah, so then on the day, then I remember I did something, I forget what it was, but you said, I've never even seen you practicing that, like.
Yeah, and that was him, like. So like, yeah, that was just full on you, like, on the day of any competition we ever went to, whereas we were more like, I think I'm more I have to kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do, and that's where maybe in comps, like, you'll see guys in warm-ups and you're like, he's going to do well, and then they slip off and they've missed it, and it's like we said to you last time, it's just the mentality, like, it's like there's some of them, I'm not going to name them, but like some of them are brilliant in warm-ups, brilliant on Instagram, brilliant when it's just messing around with their mates, but when the pressure of a competition is on them, they're missing stuff, and I think, like, my statics are probably better than my freestyle, especially in competitions, but that's where I was stronger, because
even your dodgy front lever, right?
Yeah, it's better than yours, like, that's better than yours, mate.
He does.
But that,
you're going to make him talk about his back lever.
No, I'm not. You're bringing it up.
Don't bring up the wide back, we'll be here for another half an hour. But that's where we were like kind of standing out, because you can't really fail a static, like, do you know? So if you're strong at them, you're strong at them, and then besides be front lever, but like that was when some guys. That's why I like appreciate. We were saying that last time, but just appreciate like guys with like dynamics that are willing to throw them on the day of competitions and stuff, because there is that risk element that if I miss this, I'm gone basically. Do you know? So that's something that messes with people's heads, especially in freestyle competitions. And as you said, it's not something that's in like ultimate bar wars really, like they're just going to failure. Like when we went down to Aiden's yoke, like I came nowhere, like, but it was just again completely different. Like the lads were more nervous about doing their little demonstration in front of like 20 people than the weighted pull-ups, like, and that was supposed to be the competition. The demonstration was just supposed to be a bit of crack, but
You see, like you said, you can mess up. You know, you've got whatever your sets and reps is. You've got a limit that you can do, and that's it. You know, with the freestyle, you know, it's easy to make a mess or whatever. Even something you've hit, 20 times in training, you go to do it another day, you might not catch it. And once you start missing,
it plays on your mind.
There's no time in the sets and reps. It's just repetition.
Yeah.
Your freestyle is all time, and you miss time something by a fraction of a second, you've lost it.
And like strength is just, it's not, as you say, you can't slip trying to do a pull up or something, or like if you haven't chalked up properly, just something small in your head and it plays with you on that trick or something. And that was what I've always appreciated, like the dynamic side of, or the freestyle side of it, that like, as you say, like you could put up one video and you've caught that move, and then remember going to London, like, and Jay and all just being like, oh man, you've got Gengar now, show us your Gengar, and it's like, no, like, I caught that once, like out of a 4-hour session. It just looks great because I put it on Instagram, you know, and that's probably it. People assume that that's it, like.
Funny you say that. That could be a word. That could be interesting. Just that people, if you catch something and you post it on Instagram, you can maybe in your own brain or putting it in people are going to expect that of you from now on.
Yeah. But some people and some people's mentalities are, I've caught that once and it's not a thing to them anymore. Yeah. Some guys are like that. They catch it once and then it just sticks with them.
Well, if you're not going to compete and you catch something, and I'd be guilty of that before, putting so much effort into catching something, and then once you've caught it, your focus just goes away on something else. I've done that many times, like with certain things.
So then this year, like everything that's been set up, you've started setting up calisthenics equipment then, what gave you the idea to set it up?
Well, basically what it was, Jamie...
you wanted to learn how to use sandpaper?
That's what it was, yeah. I like to feel wood.
Click that heavy.
Do you know what it actually was? There's the guy I'm in business with, and again, we're still setting up, we're still finding our feet with the company. We decided, I have a background in joinery, and we had someone make us.
Oh, love this is going. I don't want to start slagging you again.
Slag away. What do you want to say?
You sharpened a pencil before, that was it. That was your sharpened a pencil in school.
Sent to the corner.
You sharpened a pencil, waiting is word a utility belt. And then he called himself a joiner.
Have you seen that?
It wasn't here. It was a Buzz Lightyear.
I called you. You came up to I don't know. You came up to help me lift a box or something one day. And you came up with a friggin' tool belt, drilling all in it. This box, Michael. That's why he thinks he's a joiner.
It was your fucking set of Star-Wars. Did I give you for free?
Anyway,
excuse my language.
It's a very professional company.
He actually started off by the guy that Sean Smith. We were using our lads. We're not going to get this done.
This is the way the guy that I'm with, Sean Smith.
I know what the way to say his name, but we designed to be 7 mini P-bars. We just thought, just for a novelty, just enough to get your hand in. And Is it time for the loss? Yeah, so we designed a set of them. There was 3 or 4 people asked for them. And then we decided, or we realised that there's nobody actually supplying these. So we went from them. We decided to set up a full set of P-bars from the high set, long set, standard and mini. We went from that into a set of canes, handstand canes. We got a girl on board. We sponsored her with a free set of handstand canes. She had over 60,000 followers. And she was just plugging the videos. And then went from that into a set of stall bars for this idiot on the right hand side.
Who's
Which
getting
I
taken
fitted
off
for-
him by
which
the
I
sound of it.
fitted for free. From there, it went into, what was next? The outdoor rigs. The outdoor rig was the big selling point because we had someone come to us say, can you design a high bar, a low bar, a medium bar? And he says, but I only have this much space. And we're like, well, that's going to take the look off your garden. So I said, we can do this with 2 wooden posts, we can put it on and adjust. We can actually give you an adjustable bar. So you can bring it down low for skills, move it up as you get more confident. We can throw a set of rings on it so you can put it up to 8 feet.
Yeah.
And they're like, that'll do. We also put a set of parallel bars into this garden for the same customer. And from that, we then designed off the back of that our portable rig that you're now proud over of.
Yeah.
Gemma. From there, there's literally been orders, inquiries coming in. But the good thing is now we've sort of found our feet now with the people that we want to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a steel company behind us now. We've got all you guys support, Bar Wars Ireland, Bar Monkey Calisthenics, Irish Calisthenics Academy. So we feel like now we've got enough structure around us that we can actually do something with it.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, and I think it's worth mentioning, is that you don't always have to buy what we supply. You can come to us with an idea. We've got now the people around us where we can go and design it and come back to you and then throw the ideas around, which is good that way. But it's nice now that we're at, I mean, there's people coming to us that aren't in our circle of training friends. So that's proof enough that now the name's getting out there and we're now becoming the go-to company for the calisthenics equipment.
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed like the process of setting all this up?
Yeah. Like you say, I always loved the building game.
Yeah.
So I'm now combining the joinery and the calisthenics.
What's you gonna say in the building?
You done alright, you were quiet enough.
Life
You
is
were quiet
complete.
enough.
Life is complete.
Yeah, it's good. It's going well.
Like I think the way you said there that like you've like people are able to come up to you with ideas and stuff,
Yeah.
and then you are coming up with like practical solutions because like the parks and stuff. I hope that like people can take notice and you can maybe get more involved in like the designing the parks and stuff, because like a lot of stuff that goes in isn't fit for purpose because a lot of people building it have no background in the sport.
And
Like,
using it.
yeah, they've either like their, you know, whatever their background is, but their background isn't calisthenics or using the equipment even.
Exactly.
So if people like yourself can get involved, then I think, and all the outdoor kind of stuff, and people that actually will use it themselves, you know, it's gonna make all that equipment side of it much better. Like the facilities and standard of facilities is gonna improve so much
Yeah,
more.
definitely. I mean, the strength of having you guys behind us also is because we're usually always up in Belfast and we're always down here in Dublin. We're always throwing ideas around. So anytime we have a design, it's nice to have other opinions on it.
Yeah,
You know,
from practical users like
power users. And that's what makes the design so effective, is because we have those outside opinions for people that are experienced in using them.
yeah.
So yeah, it's growing.
What's the good thing for you as well is anybody once, like, I think anybody that gets involved, like, gets hooked in calisthenics, they end up owning 2 or 3 sets of P-bars.
Yeah.
Because you know, you get a small set you can take about with you, you get a nice long set for your whatever else, and you need a high set as well.
Yeah.
Everyone has different preferences
Yeah.
for height and all that. Like I prefer the high set, but someone else prefers the smaller sets.
Yeah.
So like the fact that you have different options, you know, suits different people. Like you said about even setting up the steel version as well of parallettes.
Yeah.
You know, because some people prefer that.
So we've got the steel parallels are in fabrication at the minute, and we're actually looking into a steel set of stall bars also. So we can have both. of them.
Yeah, it was like you said, like not like the last when we talked about that the last time, that some people prefer the steel, some people prefer wood.
Feeling the steel.
But I think it's great that you are, like you said, you are interacting with clubs, whereas before, if I was ordering stuff, it's from people that probably didn't have any interaction with clubs and didn't understand long term like what it's being used for, or you know, how it can be used within a club. Like so we're getting like the bar they built for us, like the first day we brought it down, all our kids that have been practicing a 360 caught it the first night with that bar. And like I said to you, that was great for you to hear, but it's also great for our club that there's like stuff in development that we can use, and it helps us create better like athletes. Like I think that bar's perfect for the kids because of the height, whereas we suppose we hadn't thought of it, but the height of our high bar is probably fairly intimidating to the kids, do you know? And if they can try stuff on a lower scale, it obviously is going to help them, because I think the ratio is probably the same as us on the high bar. Like, so that's why they were catching it straight away. I think it's important for people to kind of be able to have people like yourself to have the contact. Like,
yeah, that's it. I mean, it's worth mentioning that you came to us with a design. You came to us with an idea, and we put pen to paper and had a design drew up, ran it past you, and once you gave us a thumbs up, we put it into fabrication. And like you say, now your kids are catching all the 360s on it, and stability. The main thing we looked into was stability, because you know yourself, you don't want to be standing holding a rig.
Yeah.
So the idea behind it was to have a heavy base and the portable, the adjustable bar. I mean, even when I seen the final design, you were there, we went into the factory, it even blew my expectations out of the water. So with KME Steel, who we were dealing with, I couldn't have been happier with the job.
Like I see with us messing around on it as well.
Yeah.
We're going to be like twice the weight, if not more. Especially Ali, like. But of the kids, like. There's like so the fact like it's also suitable for us going in and wanting to mess around on it as well. So
it's only going to get better, you know. So it's just going to evolve.
No, steadily, like and it's great that like all the clubs are tying in with it, so that we're all kind of using the same standardized equipment.
Ban stuff off you than going on the internet and ban stuff somewhere else.
Yeah, but at least it's all like the same kind of standard of equipment. So if we're recommending or recognising you, and then every club has the same stuff, it's not like, oh well, you use that and then you go in and it's different, and it puts you off a little bit. Like freestyle probably more so notice that, maybe more than set rest, but I'd get on a bar and if it's painted differently, that puts me off certain moves, or if it's slippier or something. So if we can get to the stage where there's this like standardised set of equipment and you're, you know, linked in or affiliated with every club that's doing calisthenics, I think that's perfect for the sport as well. Not just you, like, you know, for everyone involved.
Yeah. And again, come back to what was said earlier, that's proof in itself about the support we were talking about earlier between the clubs. Yeah. You know, so it's exciting times. Can't wait to see where it actually goes.
That's cool.
I actually can't see it failing with, like I say, with all you guys behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
All the clubs in Ireland behind it. So
I hope that as the sport grows, obviously you will grow as well, you know. I'm gonna ask this the last one because
just while you were saying that, how do you feel calisthenics will grow over the next few years, and how do you think that will happen?
It just happen from everybody. Everybody is doing what they're doing at the minute.
Yeah.
It can't not grow. People are just, there's always going to be, in every club there's always going to be people, ones that come in and fade away. But the core, we call them lifers. There's going to be a core of lifers that when they get sucked in, they're just going to stick at it and keep going. That has to grow. You know, the more people get involved, the more people are going to get sucked in and keep going at it. And it'll grow from, obviously, the next generation, all your kids coming up. That'll be a big part of it, like, you know, as they get a bit older, and they'll probably go on do their own thing. They'll learn coach and this and that, you know. And Ultimate Bar Wars will have more people next year. Challenges, always putting challenges out, keep working.
It's changing. Times are definitely changing with calisthenics in Ireland. You know, you get what you guys are doing with Bar Monkey. Ali with Ultimate Bar Wars and Bar Wars Ireland. I'm a wee bit restricted now just because of my facility, but that's opening up into something else. So I'm going to explore my program.
Then Aiden had something. Aiden had something on.
He's already looking at bigger canvases.
Yeah.
So it's going to, the next couple of years are going to be really exciting.
Ezra has a competition coming up as well in his gym.
Yeah. Gareth Weir's opened up in Cookstown.
That's right, yeah. And then Andy Kernahan, who's does Ultimate Bar Wars every year, he's got a classes going in Ballymena. So yeah, it's growing.
Yeah, there's a lot of names there like that when you started, especially when I started, weren't featured or like, you know, since I've started it, like this definitely, like we said this the last time, it's not not through us, it's just people found it and got into it.
Yeah.
But like, there seems to be more clubs evolving and then staying in it as well, not just like, you know, using it as a trend for a bit and then I'm not running it anymore.
Yeah.
It seems to be, it becomes a club. It doesn't just become like we're gonna run TRX on a Tuesday. It becomes an actual thing on its own.
Yeah.
So no, it is like it's cool to see that like there is more clubs coming through all the time.
What's another good thing too is, I mean, the last 2 years, if anybody was talking to you, you know, what sport are you into, or, you know, I'm a fitness trainer, what do you teach? I teach calisthenics, so what's that? But now it's not that anymore, it's, oh, I've heard about that. So now it's even getting the recognition.
It's not happening down here. Oh.
I think
good for you.
there's up in Belfast now.
Yeah, in Belfast, most people will be catching on it, but the general public still.
I think it's probably all down to the handstand challenge.
Aye. Yeah,
People
most
just getting kicked in the face all the time in Costa, like.
Yeah, still not recognised a lot, like sure.
No, but it's definitely heading in the right direction.
yeah, definitely.
Well, I think it's for you. It's a hard question to get asked just because you're in the bubble of it.
Yeah.
So like, if we go in, four of us go on Instagram, probably all we see is calisthenics, like, and Cobra Kai,
Yeah.
and then like that's so it's hard sometimes to answer that because you're not in the middle of it,
Yeah.
or because we are in the middle of it. Sorry, and like it's our bubble, and
Yeah.
then I think because you said if you go out into the general public, it's still not recognised, or people still like, oh, what's that like? What's that mad thing doing hanging off that thing or whatever? So that's what how would you think you could change it to become more mainstream?
You don't want it to be mainstream.
I want it all myself.
Yeah, it's one of them things. Like it's gonna happen. I don't know. Like everything. The loving that. I suppose for us as well, I've got a wee bit of an ownership of something, and we're really helping to grow something at the minute. It comes to a point where it goes beyond that. Like
Yeah.
you enjoy it at the minute. Like see with the times at the minute that we're doing. See this time now, doing all this stuff, and it's all new and it's all fresh, and we're making ideas and we're making things happen. Just friggin' enjoy that for now. Like stay in the bubble as long as you can.
Yeah, that's a good point because
Just stay in it and enjoy it, and because it will come to a point where there'll end up to be so many clubs that we're all swept into what everything else is going on at the minute. We're the ones that are making everything happen, you know, and through that it will just keep evolving, you know, and all of a sudden there'll be so many clubs that there'll be no that the focus will get lost on something, and there'll be maybe something like there's the Bar Monkey Festival coming up every year that gets everybody together, but it'll just keep evolving.
that was a point I made before, that like that's what I liked about what we were doing, because if you went to almost any other sport now, like everything's already set up. Like
Yeah.
if you want to be a footballer, there's a easy enough pathway to get into it, but like we're the first ones all setting this stuff up.
Yeah.
And I find that like I really like,
But that's
as you said, it's
really
great
good
to be
fun doing that, like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and you really feel like you're doing something, and you know, enjoying doing it as well. That's what keeps it exciting.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, you throw an event up, and you know, every time you do it, you get more people involved. It's a bigger, better crowd, and there's more and more happening. And then, like I say, it'll get to the point where it grows to a certain point, and that, you know, maybe we'll fall in love with it, but somebody else will start taking it over. You know.
What did you say?
Well, the enthusiasm, you know, you'll maybe move on to something else, or, you know, your focus will change to something else,
Is
somebody
that you
else.
speaking, or is that your
No,
fiance
it's
speaking?
not. It's just a natural progression of things. Like, don't get me wrong. That look, yes.
Ali, you don't want to go back to that
That's it.
previous
No,
fight.
no.
Like,
No, but that's the natural progression. Somebody else will come along and do what I'm doing and do it better. Eventually,
I won't let them.
it's gonna happen. Like,
That'll
see,
push it.
you know.
Yeah, that's the saying, isn't it? There's always someone that's coming
That's
up
it.
along and do it better.
It'll evolve, and someone will come along and throw a load of money at it, and it'll change into something else, and it might get more of the general public involved. And you know, somebody comes along with 50 grand and throws it into a competition and gets this sponsor, that sponsor, and pulls everybody in, and all of a sudden it could go something that's much bigger. But they'll learn from what we're doing now.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So
I mean, even the time you used to come up and see us, do you know me there a few weeks ago? Yourself and Fitz, and we didn't train. We sat for 4 hours and just spoke calisthenics. And even how innovative you guys are in this sport is, me and him were talking about it afterwards. Phenomenal. The steps that the pathway that you're creating for calisthenics is fantastic. Really, really fantastic.
Yeah.
What you guys are actually doing.
think and then I think what you said is right, that like we've put like a base in place, but you hope that like obviously other people are gonna step in at some stage, and but it won't, like I always think like our kids won't know what it was like to have to just train on a bar with no mats underneath it, or so you're raising standards all the time, so then someone else will come in and they might make it better, but it's only because you've already done like 10 things before
don't
that.
get me wrong, I mean I could be talking another 20 years down the line and we're still increasing.
Ali on the Zimmer.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you know, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years, but you just keep doing what we're doing, pushing everything forward, just trying to get more people involved. And
all of us have laid you've laid the groundwork for that, like regardless, like anyone, I know any of our kids now in the next 10 years when they become us, say, or whatever, you know, they're the ones doing competitions, they're doing XYZ, but they won't have ever had to like train out in a park at like freezing cold temperatures. There'll be a place for them to go and do, so facilities, coaching standards, all that stuff will be in place. That wasn't in place when we all started, like. But
that's the exciting thing about it, isn't it though?
Yeah, I think that's
you're on the forefront of it with a brand new sport.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But before Kai has a collision there, I think we better wrap up. Right, Kai, thanks mate.
Thanks, lads.
Fix that out.
I'm sorry.
I know, wait.
For the saying. How do you do it again?
That's your B.
Is that a B, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing two B's. That's all I got.
This one goes up, that one goes down.